Welcome to this explainer. Okay, think about this for a second. Every single day, the world generates over 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. That's enough to fill more hard drives than we can even wrap our heads around. Yet across finance, healthcare, logistics, retail, you name it, organizations are absolutely starving for the leadership to actually interpret it all. They have the numbers, sure, but they desperately lack the strategic direction to turn those numbers into meaningful business decisions. And honestly, that is exactly where the Professional MBA with a data analytics concentration comes in. Today, we're going to break down exactly how this program bridges that massive leadership gap.
So who actually bridges the gap between raw data and high-level strategy? This question highlights a very real, critical vacuum in the modern workforce. Let's look at the two extremes. On one side, you've got pure technical analysts. They can run the numbers all day long, but they often lack broader business judgment or executive communication skills. On the other side, traditional managers. They absolutely understand organizational leadership, but they kind of lack the technical data fluency to read modern dashboards or forecast complex trends. This program sits right at that intersection. It creates a hybrid professional who can seamlessly navigate both of those worlds.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Data meets leadership. 2. The low-residency advantage. 3. Analysis plus action. 4. Transfer planning and mobility. And 5. Your next steps.
Section 1. Data meets leadership, connecting analytics to management.
You know, people mix up these two educational paths all the time. A traditional Master of Science in Data Analytics is deeply technical. It has a strong research and engineering focus, and it's really designed for future data scientists. But a professional MBA in Data Analytics, that has a distinct managerial and strategic focus. The absolutely crucial point to remember is that this program isn't about teaching you to build the back end of a database. It's about teaching you to be a business professional who leads with analytics, who knows how to ask the right questions of the technical team, and who can translate those findings into real strategic recommendations.
And this managerial focus is incredibly necessary right now because, well, the market has spoken. If you look at recent 2026 employer commentary and GMAC reporting, they make it super clear. AI fluency, data literacy, and the ability to quantify business impact are no longer just nice-to-have bonus skills. No way. They are baseline expectations. The market is demanding MBA-level talent who can step in and immediately handle big data, software-linked business roles, and AI-enabled environments.
So, what do these modern data leadership expectations actually look like in practice? Employers across literally every industry need managers to step up in 4 key areas. First, you have to read business signals, meaning you can identify trends from raw numbers before it's too late. Second, you must connect analytics to operations, because let's be real, building a fancy dashboard is totally useless if it doesn't actually improve productivity or workflows. Third, making cross-functional decisions is key. Analytics touches everything now, from HR and compliance to marketing and supply chain. And finally, applying AI responsibly. You really need practical familiarity with AI productivity tools and the ethics around using them.
Section 2. The low-residency advantage, scaling your career.
The low-residency structure is honestly fascinating because it mirrors how modern business actually operates today. It kicks off with asynchronous digital coursework, which lets you learn the theory, work with decision models, and engage in online casework on your own schedule. But then, it perfectly blends into high-value, on-site collaborative practice. During periodic in-person sessions, you're jumping into live case simulations, delivering executive presentations, and tackling team-based analytics problems. You're building exactly the skills employers value most: executive communication and a strong leadership presence.
The biggest game changer here is momentum. Traditional full-time immersion often forces you to step out of the workforce entirely, but a low-residency model allows for real-time workplace application. Think of it as using your current job as a live laboratory. If you learn a new forecasting concept, do a dashboard exercise, or study an operations framework online this week, you can literally walk into work and test it out on the job next week. You keep your career momentum and your income while directly applying what you learn.
Section 3. Analysis plus action, the core curriculum.
It's really cool to see how this dual curriculum blueprint works in tandem. On the core MBA side, you're building foundational credibility with heavy-hitting subjects like managerial finance, organizational leadership, and strategic management. But right alongside it, you are simultaneously building applied technical capabilities, things like KPI development, data visualization, and forecasting. You aren't just learning how to make a pretty chart, you're learning how to use that chart to justify a budget, streamline a broken process, or shape a completely new customer strategy. You are actively bridging the gap.
And that brings us to the rhythmic anchor of this whole program: analysis plus action. Employers want practical, measurable business impact. They do not want abstract theories. They want to see a project-based result. They want to know for sure that you can identify a customer trend and then successfully lead a team to capitalize on it. Analysis plus action is literally what turns raw data into revenue, efficiency, and growth.
Section 4, Transfer Planning and Mobility, Decision Clarity.
Now, if you're evaluating a transfer, there is an exact step-by-step blueprint to make the process seamless. First up, organize those transcripts early. Don't wait on this. Second, document your course outcomes clearly so evaluators know exactly what you studied. And third, and this is a big one, seek an evaluation before just assuming your credits won't transfer. University partners very often offer much more flexible pathways than students expect, especially for folks coming from mixed academic backgrounds.
To really optimize that transfer, it definitely helps to know which prior credits carry the most weight. Coursework in business foundations, economics, statistics, information systems, and quantitative methods are all considered extremely high value. These subjects have a ton of overlap with the management and quantitative foundations of a professional MBA, which makes them the most likely to support your graduate progression and streamline your path to the finish line.
Now, for students navigating the U.S. immigration system, this point on CPT and OPT alignment is absolutely crucial. Business analytics roles often align very well with practical training pathways. However, this requires careful evaluation. CPT and OPT decisions are heavily dependent on the program's specific structure, how well your role aligns with your studies, institutional policies, and current immigration rules. It is always a smart move to ask informed questions about documentation and timelines early in the process. You want to ensure your academic choices fully support your professional and visa goals.
Section 5, Your Next Steps, Mapping Your Journey. So who is this low-residency pathway perfectly engineered for? Well, it's ideal for working professionals seeking a promotion without hitting pause on their careers. It's for analysts who are finally ready to step up into management. It's an excellent fit for transfer students already in the U.S. who need academic continuity and structural flexibility. And lastly, it's for career changers looking to break into operations, business intelligence, or strategy-adjacent roles. If you want applied learning rather than pure academic theory, this format is going to fit your real-world constraints perfectly. Assess your path at studenttransferexperts.com via Transfer-GPT. It's an incredibly useful tool to help organize your questions and evaluate your specific situation. So what will the data say about your next career move?
Right choices, effective outcomes. Brought to you by Student Transfer Experts.